When talking about networks, the word bandwidth gets thrown around a lot.
There's a misconception out there that bandwidth directly translates to the speed of your internet and the responsiveness of your online gameplay, which isn't entirely true. Sure, higher bandwidth does allow for faster download speeds, but it doesn't guarantee it. The way that your home network is set up can also help or hinder your ping.
Think about it this way, your bandwidth is the absolute maximum that your network can handle without any sort of outside interruptions or factors. Congestion on your network and the type of internet connection can play a role. So more often than not, your internet speed will be slightly lower than the maximum your ISP can offer. Your ISP being your internet service provider.
Having more bandwidth does help you download video game files faster, while it can also allow you to have multiple applications running on the same home network at the same time. However, having more bandwidth doesn't necessarily mean that the online responsiveness of your game will improve, because that's more dependent on who else is sharing your internet. Let's just say that you're the only one on the home network and you're playing an online multiplayer game which is a first-person shooter. And let's say that this game in particular uses 1 megabits per second of your bandwidth. The responsiveness of your gaming or your ping is not likely to improve whether or not you have a 50 megabits per second maximum bandwidth or a 250 megabits per second maximum bandwidth. However, let's just say that the whole network is completely congested in the instance of your entire family using the network at once. Then having more bandwidth will actually help reduce the amount of time that the network is spent being congested, which in turn will help the responsiveness of the gaming return faster to a state of what it would be like if it was just you on the network.
Now, there are ways to try boost your internet speed to try get to that maximum bandwidth possible. It's not always guaranteed, but it's definitely worth a shot. Connecting your PC or console to the internet via Ethernet cable is a great way to try boost your speeds. This is because your data can be transferred in a more direct and efficient way. If you do need to play on Wi-Fi because your console's in a different room to your router, there are some options. You could always set up a mesh network with Wi-Fi boosters, but I talk about that in another video. Now, if you're having more issues with your ping than your bandwidth, it might be worth considering doing the following. Firstly, try restarting your router. You'd be surprised what the restart of some hardware can do. Basically, it forces your router to reset all the connections it currently has, so hopefully if anything's gotten into a little bit of a twist, it gets itself sorted. Think of it like a fresh start. Another thing that can help is making sure that the software on your router is up to date. Something that you do find is when things are out of date and you've missed an update, things don't usually work as optimally as they could. This is also really important to make sure that you are patching any security vulnerabilities. Another tip to improve your ping and to reduce the amount of lag you are experiencing is to make sure that you're connecting to a game server that is closest to you. If your router is trying to connect to a server that's geographically further away from you, you are going to experience a higher ping and more latency. When connecting to a server that's physically closer to you, you will experience a lower ping, which means less latency and lag in exchange. Within the settings of a lot of games today, you do have the option to choose what region you're connecting to. Should that not be possible, there is a geo filter within the Telstra game optimizer that does allow you to do that. This gives you the upper hand on enemies, so you want to make sure you get this right. So even with these tips that I've mentioned, some of you out there may not be able to get the speeds that you're really wanting to get your gaming to the best it can be.
With technology advancing so fast, the internet connection you have at home may not have caught up as of yet. So in this instance, mobile data might be your best bet.
This is because 4G and 5G have brought some incredible speeds that have seriously shaken up the gaming world. Instead of your internet connection running through the cables into your house, it actually connects to the mobile towers around you. The speeds you can get on mobile networks can be quite impressive, however, you do have to be mindful of your data limit to make sure you don't go over. Now, with any sort of network connection, you're inevitably going to get some latency. In the instance of mobile networks, your latency will vary depending on how far your home is from the network tower. Now, some of you out there are probably wondering what on earth is latency, and I have spoken about it in another video that you can check out in the description box down below. Though for the sake of this video, I'll give you a really simple definition. So latency in its most general term is referring to the time between two things happening. So an example of this would be clicking a button on your controller and then that happening in game. Or it could be an electron traveling from one end of a wire to the other. So latency is the time it takes for that to happen. And the word ping is used to measure latency. Internet speeds are getting faster and faster, and that's all thanks to new technologies like 5G. With the 5G network, we're seeing less latency, we're seeing faster download speeds and less congestion on the networks, which is a win-win-win situation. And though we may not be at the 0 millisecond mark when it comes to ping, engineers are working every single day to get us closer and closer so we can get the fastest internet speeds we possibly can.